everyone! Chapter 4 Polynomials, Learning Target 2! This is Miss Osier.
And Miss Lahar.
And here we go.
All right, zeros, people. We've been dealing with them
zeros.
since algebra, but now we're going to take it up a notch. Zeros are where they cross the x-axis.
See right there, the blue, the red, and the green. Look at those pretty zeros. To find zeros algebraically, you usually are going to factor. That's what we've done in the past, right? Take a GCF, factor that bad boy, and get x equals 0, x equals -4, and x equals 5. However, graphically, we can just look right at the graph and say, obviously, this graph doesn't match this, but you can just say 0, -4, 5 from the graph. Here I know -2, 1, and 3 are my three solutions.
Yep.
So
now we're just going to talk a little bit more, because you've done roots before. You've known how to graph before. But now we're going to talk about what the multiplicity of a root is.
So whenever you have this fifth, think about what that means. That really just means that multiplied by itself 5 times. Well, each of those is going to give me, right, this is factored form, that's going to give me x equals 5. It's going to be the same answer 5 times. So that fifth time is called a repeated zero, which is called a multiplicity.
Okay, so that has a multiplicity of 5. Now, the multiplicity is going to tell you what happens at the x-axis for that root.
So if you have an even multiplicity, it's going to touch the x-axis and then bounce back in the same direction it came from. So if you have like a multiplicity of 2, for instance, it's going to come down and boop, right back up. Boop.
Okay, and to the 4, it's going to boop a little bit longer. The higher you go even-wise, the longer it takes to boop.
Right, so think about when you're young, you're agile, you can just boop up, right back up. As you get older in age, it takes a little bit longer to get back up when you go back down. So
Okay, so when you have a even multiplicity at the root, it's going to bounce back.
boom.
Odd,
Crosses it whoosh, right through.
okay, it goes through the x-axis. So there we have an equation, we have x plus 2, so at -2, because my multiplicity is 1, which is odd, it is going to go through that root. And same thing about the old situation. The bigger you get, the longer it takes to cross that x-axis.
So you just take your time. You got to work up to it.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so determine the real zeros of each polynomial and their multiplicity. So you literally just solve each one by setting it equal to 0, and then the exponent is the multiplicity. So here we have x equals 0, x equals -4, x equals 1, x equals 5. This should be no problem for anyone.
Because remember, you set them each equal to 0 and solve it.
Right, now
So
your multiplicities are your exponents. So don't forget, they come from, like if there's not an exponent there, that's an implied 1.
And I don't know if
Big thing to remember.
so odd means it's going to cross at that root. Multiplicity of 5, it's going to cross at that root. Multiplicity of 1, it's going to cross at that root. Oh, multiplicity of 2, it's going to touch at that root.
It's going to touch.
Okay?
Fantastic.
That's it.
That's it. You need to be good at your boops and your whooshes, your swishes and your boops, whatever we want to call it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We will see you in class.